For Keith Blessington, it began with stomach problems.
I was in really good shape. It was about 180, and I'm 6 foot, and I had a lot of energy. And then I started getting sick with an ulcer.
The ulcer hit a far more serious problem, a tumor diagnosed as stage 3 stomach cancer. The timing could not have been worse. Keith, a tax accountant in New Hampshire, had health insurance through his employer. But in 2006, he left the company to launch a freelance business and extended his employer-based insurance through COBRA, which typically runs for 18 months. As COBRA was set to expire, Keith found a private policy and then found out he had cancer.
So as soon as I told him that, the broker said, "We can't insure you. We won't insure you." It's as simple as that. And he said, at that point, he says, no other insurance company basically will too. You can call around. And I did call around, and all the other insurance companies said, no, we won't insure you.
Even long-time cancer survivors face that same struggle.
He's darky today, I see that.
Tom Olszewski, a retiree who lives in Texas, had prostate cancer and has been in remission for a decade.
Used COBRA insurance for almost a year, and then when it was about to run out, started looking for other insurances, only to find out that nobody would talk to me. Nobody even wanted to see the doctor results. You had prostate cancer, we're not talking to you.
It's a little smaller than it was before.
Yay. Jamie Drazwicki, who has health insurance through her employer in Florida, would seem to be on much more stable footing, but she's not.
I've been paying premiums my whole life. I have insurance, I have a job, not understanding how much breast cancer, any form of cancer really costs. So I thought I was fine. I didn't understand my limits of my policy were going to kick me in the butt later on because it wasn't enough to cover my treatments.
All three of these middle-aged, middle-class people are facing the unique financial challenges that cancer can bring on, even when insured through the private health care system. Challenges ranging from finding affordable quality coverage to discovering that coverage doesn't mean protection from high out-of-pocket costs.
Come on, babe, why don't we pay?
58-year-old Jamie, who is an activities director at a nursing home and a singer by night, had a partial mastectomy in 2006, followed by chemo and radiation and many months of breast reconstruction.
Every time I've been to a treatment, I have been battle scarred. That's what I look at it, like I'm a soldier.
Nothing to it. Okay.
In her previous job, Jamie exceeded her insurance policy's annual cap on benefits. Annual or lifetime caps sometimes don't cover a cancer patient's medical bills. Jamie managed to increase her cap threefold to $300,000 by switching to a new policy. But that also meant a larger premium, a smaller paycheck, and debt.
Okay.
Jamie's medical debt now stands at $75,000. She pays a little bit here and there, and collection agencies still call.
Well, after I yelled at them for calling me at my office at work, I said, lose this number. How dare you leave a message on my machine where my staff comes in to listen to my messages at times? How dare you? I said, lose this number. And the woman was very genteel about it. We apologize. But they have my cell phone and they have my home phone.
Jamie says she's tried to navigate the system to get some financial aid, especially to help pay her hospital bills, but it's just too complicated.
Nobody guided me through this. I investigated my own self to get funding and help, but because I had health insurance, I could not get any grants. Yeah, I could not get any grants. I could not get any help with prescriptions. I researched as much as my little sick body would let me sit on the computer, and then I just gave up.
In Texas, Tom Olszewski is living on a fixed income that is not going nearly as far as he thought it would when he took early retirement. And a big part of the reason is the cost of health insurance. Tom ran into a problem many Americans do: insurance companies refusing to cover someone because of earlier health problems.
So if you get in at over 50 and you've had cancer, you better hope for no relapse, because it's going to be really hard to find an insurance company that wants to even deal with you.
Tom, who shows dogs as a hobby, ended up in a high-deductible plan with a health savings account. Monthly premiums are $430, and he pays almost $4,000 in medical bills before insurance takes over.
Today, approximately 25% of my family budget is used for health care. I'm just talking insurance for the budget. Yeah, if something happens and we have to go to the doctor, that's extra money. That goes negative on the budget.
So he's made a risky choice for a cancer survivor, cutting back on health care because he does not want to go into debt.
I have avoided going to the doctor. I don't do annual checkups and the stuff that you're supposed to do because things are so expensive. Parasitology, have a heart attack or an aneurysm or some catastrophic thing that's going to put me in the hospital for a couple of weeks.
Keith Blessington has been in and out of the hospital since his diagnosis of stomach cancer, and his medical bills are mounting. When Keith's COBRA ran out, his only option was to join a high-risk pool that carries with it a monthly premium of $1,100, a $1,000 deductible, and leaves Keith responsible for 20% of his health care costs. For someone who always avoided debt, he never could have imagined the financial brink cancer has brought him to.
I'm broke right now, actually. I pay everything, but I'm running into the situation where I'm borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
Keith has gone through his 401k. He's not paying his mortgage for a few months. He's borrowing money from a credit card to pay for 24/7 care for his ailing mother and to pay for his various medical bills.
When you have medical problems, a lot of people think it's just their doctor and the hospital. But that is not the case. There's so many other outside groups that you get bills from. You could have 5 different doctors or bills for one treatment that you had, and you don't even know who the other 4 are. But they touch base, and they submit a bill, and you don't know for sure if they will accept your insurance until they actually submit.
Keith is now $60,000 in debt, and that figure climbs an additional $6,000 every month. He's hoping that once chemo and radiation are over, he can build his strength by hiking his beloved New Hampshire hills and then find a full-time job with health insurance. But for now, he hovers between hopefulness and real despair about what cancer has done to his health and to his security.
I'm going to go down that hill. I'm going to look at my blueberries. I'm going to watch the deer around here. I'm going to make it through this. I'm going to make it through it.